Just hours after polls opened in Georgia yesterday, the state smashed its early voting record. More than 300,000 Georgians turned out to vote ahead of next month's presidential election. It's according to the Office of the Secretary of State. Joining us now, political reporter for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Greg Bluestein. Greg, always great to have you with us. So that was a staggering number when it was posted yesterday by the Secretary of State. Can you talk about, just in some perspective, of what that 300,000 looks like?
Yeah, that's an eye-popping number. I think it even caught some state elections officials off guard. It shattered all sorts of records. But I would also caution into reading too much into these numbers. We saw heavy turnout in Democratic-leaning areas. We also saw heavy turnout in Republican-leaning areas. So we're not quite sure which party it will help most. We also don't know how many of these folks are just going to be voters who are new voters, who are switching, crossover voters, or frankly just voters who would have voted election day and who are just voting early. So there's a lot going on here, but we do know the Republicans this cycle are putting a much greater emphasis on early voting than they have in Georgia in the past as well. And even at Donald Trump's rally last night in Georgia, there was all sorts of messaging about make a plan to vote. And that used to be primarily Democratic language here in Georgia back in the 2020 and 2018 campaigns.
Yeah, we don't know which way that early vote is leaning, but it's just incredible enthusiasm to begin with around the election. That's what it tells us. It was, as you say, interesting to hear Donald Trump in Georgia praising Governor Kemp, somebody he has attacked and insulted consistently. It's almost like somebody got to him and said, "Sir, you need to win the state of Georgia. This is key. Stop messing around." What is your sense of things on the ground there right now?
Yeah, I think what's also surprising Republicans here in Georgia is that truce is holding. Donald Trump's last rally in Atlanta was back in early August, and that's when he went on that surprise 10-minute tirade against Governor Kemp and his wife, Marty, and other allies of the governor. And since then, there's been a calming of the waters and that truce, and they had this in-person reconciliation a few days ago in the city of Augusta, and it's held. I don't know how long it's going to hold. I was texting with some of Kemp's allies during the rally last night, and they're also not exactly sure how long it's going to hold. But look, for Republicans in Georgia, if they can win back, if Donald Trump can win back those split ticket voters that moved decisively towards Joe Biden, towards Jon Ossoff, towards Raphael Warnock in the last couple of election cycles here in Georgia, then they can win this race. But if Democrats can reach those crossover votes in significant numbers, then Kamala Harris has the ticket to her victory.